Today we're going to be talking about our natural bun line. So the first thing is we need some clean pans and some silicone pan liners. So we're going to put the liner on the clean pan. What I'm going to be showing you right now is our natural wheat hamburger bun. Most stores sell these in 8-count packages, and they usually sell them as a cluster. So the first method I'm going to show you is we're going to cluster 3 packages, 3 8-count packages per pan. So those are 3 packages. Now when doing hot dog buns, same thing, we're going to put 3 packages on a sheet pan before they go into the proof box. Dinner rolls is another popular item. Typically these are sold as 12-count packages, so we're going to do 3 packages again, and we're going to cluster them in 2 rows of 6, leaving space in the middle for allowing them to proof up, but also so they bake evenly. Cocktail buns or silver dollar buns, or whatever, there's other names for them, but that's the 2 most common. It's a smaller piece of dough. Typically you want these to bake individually. So what we do here is we go 4 by 9 and we kind of offset each row. So we put 3 dozen on a pan. And bratwurst buns are typically sold in 6-count packages. So just as the hot dog buns, we're going to do 3 packages, but we're only going to put 6 in a row instead of 8. It's a larger piece of dough, so it'll end up proofing together and clustering quite nicely for you. And they need to go in the cooler overnight. We're going to use a rack cover of some kind. This is actually a disposable rack cover, which can be reused several times. We're going to want to cover the package, or the rack, so that the buns don't get dried out in the cooler. Well, good morning. Gregory's Guru here again. It's already tomorrow, and I've got my rack of buns that I've pulled out of the cooler. I've got my proof box set at 95 degrees and 85% humidity, or somewhere around there. And it's been on for about 30 minutes or so. We've let the buns come up a little bit to temperature, and now we're going to put them into the proof box. First thing we have to do is remove our rack cover. And again, these rack covers can be reused several times as long as they don't tear. Okay, let's get our buns out of the proof box. Now, typically they're not all going to be ready at the same time. Our cocktail or silver dollar buns are ready first. How do we know when they're ready? Well, a good rule of thumb is they're going to double in size, but a better method is called the dimple method. And that's where we're going to put our pinky into the side of the bun, like this. And if it leaves an indentation and does not spring back, it's ready for the oven. If it springs back, give it another 10 minutes or so and check it again. Now, a lot of times the dough is real sticky because it's in the proof box. It's a good idea to dip your finger in a little water, and that way it'll lubricate it, and when you put your pinky onto the bun, it won't stick to it. It's a little easier to test. All right, we're going to put this in an oven at 375 degrees. That's a conventional oven or a real oven. If you're using a rack oven, you're going to want to lower the temperature to about 360. If you're using a convection oven, you're going to want to bake those rolls somewhere around 335. The smaller dough takes a little less time, probably around 10 to 11 minutes. The larger pieces of dough are going to go 12 to 13. Okay, our cocktail buns are ready to come out of the oven. I've already pulled the first 2 shelves. Here's the 3rd shelf. You can see they're nice golden brown, 11 minutes. Okay, we've got all the buns out of the oven now. The cocktail buns took right around 11 minutes at 375, and the rest of the buns took right around 13 minutes. You can see we got a nice golden color on them. They do tend to get a little browner quicker than a regular bun. The natural buns seem to color up a little nicer. So you'll notice we got nice clustering on these. Okay, we also have available visual method sheets such as this that have pictures of what the rolls look like on the pan, what they look like when they're proofed, and what they should look like when they're full. Now we want to bring in an expert on what makes these buns actually natural. You know, what is it? What's going on here? What did we change so that we can call it all natural? What are the benefits of it and whatnot? So we've got Daryl, who's our director of R&D, that's going to answer a few of those questions for us.
Yeah.
What makes this all natural? What's going on here? I mean, I went to baking school in the 80s, and we had all kinds of stuff in our bakery that we were making that had all kinds of words I couldn't even pronounce. What is that stuff?
Well, one of the things that we are concentrating on is the fact that the products that we use, all the ingredients that we use in these products, are derived from all natural sources. And the flours themselves are naturally based. They don't have added bromates and stuff to them, so that any perceived notion about a clean label, we've taken all that out. So like our eggs are used without the silico aluminum sulfate in it. We use enzymes instead of dough conditioners, which are natural, and we use all wholesome ingredients, including a whole milk product in this, to give it the clean taste and the shelf life that we need.
So you get a better tasting product and shelf life. I've heard that you can get longer shelf life on them.
Yes, with the enzymes that we've added and the clean label ingredients, we were able to offer longer shelf lives, both in the post-bake and in the freezer. So for the retailers that need to keep the product in their freezers longer, we have longer shelf life in the freezer. And when they bake it, they can give more shelf life, an average of a day to 2 more days on their shelf, and then the end user will then be able to get 5 to 7 days, whereas before they only could get 3 on a normal product.
So we used to give the buns 3 days in our retail shop, and then the customer would take them home and only could get a couple, maybe 3 days more. But what you're saying is we can get maybe 5 days on your shelf in the retail setting, and then the customer gets up to a week at home.
That's correct. Yep.
That's amazing. So that's just what our customers are looking for. It helps with labor. We can make larger, maybe more packages at a time because we get more days on the shelf,
Yep.
Which helps out with labor, but it also, the customer is going to have a better eating experience because their buns aren't going to get dry right away. I mean, I know it's just my wife and I that live at home, and to buy 8 buns, it takes, it's going to take us a good week or 10 days to actually eat all those buns. So that's exciting news.
Yeah, and it's also, you touched on a real quick segment there about the shelf life in the store. So if you're an in-store baker and you're having problems with shrink, having all natural buns will help you with the shrink factor. You can get extra shelf life, so you don't have to necessarily stale out or shrink out the product. If you get an extra day shelf life on your shelf, you're reducing your shrink factors tremendously.
So that's more gross profit dollars in your pocket.
Exactly.
All right, well, I really appreciate you coming in today and helping us out with this segment and helping me with understanding these enzymes.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem. Thank you.
All right.